Hey, this is Gail. I teach for the Veterans Yoga Project. I teach two different types of classes, chair yoga classes and classes to help ease back challenges. So that's what today's class's emphasis is on, is easing those back challenges. It's going to be seated on the chair today. So in this class, and I'm looking at my clipboard here, you're going to be experiencing yoga and various practices that is intended to help us deal with the stress that we deal with on a chronic daily basis. And with Yoga, Veterans Yoga Project, we use 5 different types of tools to help do that. Meditation, breathing, mindful movement, guided rest and relaxation, and a gratitude practice. So we'll be doing about 20-minute practice here today. So I wanted to let you know that there's going to be some details in the video description here that links to the Veterans Yoga study that was done in 2017 that talked about using yoga to help lessen chronic low back pain. And it was practicing yoga twice a week. It was a very easy type of style of yoga. And then people were encouraged to practice on their own if they so desired. And there was a significant lessening of back pain happening at the beginning and towards the end of the 12-week practice. So, that has lots of benefits. You can, rely less on opioid use, and then, of course, have better issues with your back. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is finish this little introduction here. We'll go back and do some breathing, some movement. Then after the movement, I'll come back up to the camera and I'll be doing your guided rest and relaxation and your gratitude practice. So let's get started, okay? All right. So you don't have to be barefoot. You can have your shoes on. I'm going to keep my shoes on today. I'm going to move this chair out of the way. We're going to come to our chair. So I encourage you to slide away from the back of the chair. So when we have that nice tall spine, that also encourages us to use our core muscles. So I really like that. So feet on the floor. If your legs are kind of shorter than mine, you might want to have your feet on some books or maybe some yoga blocks if you have any of that. And if the seat is not too comfortable, you might grab a blanket or a towel to cushion the seat. And I invite you to close your eyes or gaze softly down at the floor and then place your hands on your abdomen. And as we breathe in, the belly expands, the front side of the ribs expand, and if you can, the back side of the body, let the ribs expand, okay? So here we go. Relax those shoulders. Let's breathe in, belly out, ribs expand, and the back side expands. And as you exhale, draw that belly button towards your spine. Get all the air out. You can breathe in through the nose, or you can breathe in through the mouth and the nose, whatever is best for you to do. And again, I like to breathe in through the nose, belly expands, rib expands. And then exhale. Let those shoulders relax, wiggle a little bit if you need to. And again, breathing in, breathing out. Now you'll hear me breathe through the mouth so you can hear the breath. That's just, so you can hear the breath coming out. Again, breathing in and breathing out. Beautiful. All right, so first we'll be doing some inhale, circle, sweep arms up. Now I'm kind of scooching a little forward here, so a little range of motion in the shoulders. So let's inhale, circle, sweep arms up, whatever you can do here, okay? And then exhale, float the arms down. If you need to bend those arms, that's perfectly fine. We'll always keep everything between easy and ouch. Let's do that again. Breathing in, circle, sweep arms up, and exhaling. So the benefits of yoga: you can ease back pain, have better joint mobility, build your bones, have better sleep, improve your circulation, strength, flexibility, and have a little bit better breath going on. And again, breathing in and breathing out. So essentially, we're going to be going over 6 essential spinal movements, and that's to create greater ease in the body. Yes? Again, this could be done barefoot or in your shoes, in your street clothes. You don't have to wear yoga clothes to do a yoga class, yeah? I just got on my regular cargo pants and a t-shirt, so, whatever you got on, that's perfectly fine. And again, one more time, breathing in and breathing out. Beautiful. So I'm going to turn sideways. You do not have to turn sideways, but I just want you to notice what my spine is doing when we do the cat-cow posture. So again, I'm sitting up nice and tall. I got part of my bun off because, you know, the chair's not wide enough, but that's okay, yeah? And I have my feet kind of in line with my knee bone, so it's not going more out, it's not more in. It's just nice and at that nice 90-degree angle. And I tend to kind of round towards the floor because I'm doing typing all the time. So, you know, I need this little bit of back yoga just to kind of like feel a little bit more at ease with my body. So to begin with, we'll be doing the cow part of the cat-cow posture. So I'm going to place my hands on the tops of my thighs or clasp my hands on the knees, whatever's, you know, easily accessible to you, yeah? So from here, let's breathe again in through the nose. And as we contract the belly button towards the spine, as we exhale, we're going to bend those elbows and hinge towards our thighs. So I'm not trying to round my spine, but I'm trying to have a straight tailbone from the tailbone to the tops of the shoulders. And again, inhaling, stay here. And as we exhale, contract the abdomen, engage that core, go back to sitting up nice and tall. Now we're going to do the cat portion of it, but first we breathe in. And then exhale, it's like we're curving from the belly button, curving the spine to the back of the room. I'm hanging onto my knees and got that nice little curve going on. Yours may be more or less, depending on your issues, yeah? Inhaling, stay here. And as we exhale, contract that belly button, come back up to a tall posture. Inhaling, stay here. Exhaling, let's hinge forward for that cow. Now I'm going to come back to the front room doing cow. Inhaling, stay here. Exhaling, coming back to tall posture. Inhaling, stay here. Relax those shoulders. Exhale, curve that spine, contract the belly button, curve the spine, hang on to the legs for that cat pose. Inhaling, stay here. Exhale, contract the belly button, sit up nice and tall. Let's do one more round. Inhaling, stay here. Exhale, hinge forward for the cow part. Inhaling, stay here. Exhale, contract that belly button, come back to tall posture. Inhaling, stay right here. Last time, contract that belly button, curve the spine to the back of the room. Hang on to those knees. Inhaling, stay here. Exhale, sit up nice and tall and release. Shake it out. All right, so we did flexion and extension of the spine, hinging forward, kind of like a little arch going on, a little back bend, and then a little curve to the back of the room when we were doing the cat portion of the pose. That's good for kind of releasing achiness that goes on with the mid back, the upper back, and sometimes, you know, all three, low, mid, and upper back, yeah? So we're going to move on to the next one. So the next one is the side lateral movement. So that's going to address the QL muscle. It's on the side of the body. Oftentimes that's a very, very tightly held muscle, yeah? So I'm going to kind of really sit firm on my chair. I was going to say my yoga mat, but it's a chair. And then I've got space between me and the back of the chair, so I can place a hand back behind me. And I'm going to push into the hand that's back behind me. You can see my elbow there? Yeah. So with the other one, I'm pushing firmly into the floor also. We're going to really drive the hand into the chair, and then inhale, circle sweep the other arm up. Now as we exhale, contract the belly button towards the spine, lean over, stretch that side body. Again, be mindful how this feels. There may be strong sensation going on here. Inhale, back on up. Exhale, lean back on over. Push the hand, push the feet into the floor. Inhale, back on up. Exhale, lean over. Push your hand into the floor. Stretch that armpit to the hip pit. Inhale, back on up. Exhale, float it down. Yay. Okay, and just kind of shake those hands out, rub those hands. Sometimes you can really push vigorously into the chair, cause little tingling sensations sometimes. Sometimes that happens, yeah? Let's do the other side. So I'm going to scooch the other hand back behind me. I get a little shoulder squeeze going on with the hand that's back behind me. I kind of like that. And again, I'm pressing firmly into the floor, yeah? Nice and stable, pressing firmly into the hand. Now you can be on wrist or fist. I like the wrist because I can curl my hands on the side of the chair and just be really nice and stable. Pushing into the floor, let's inhale, circle, sweep an arm up. Again, you may have a bent elbow, and that's okay. Contract that belly button, lean your body over, press into the floor, press into the chair, exhaling, inhaling back on up. Big breath there again. Exhale, push into the chair, push into the floor. Inhaling back on up. Notice if it feels different this side versus the other. It might. Exhale, lean over. Inhaling back on up. Woo! Exhale, lean over. Inhaling back on up. Exhale, float it down. Beautiful. Wonderful. Let's just do a little shoulder roll here, back behind you. My left shoulder likes to talk. It has these little crackly noises going on. It's kind of normal, I think, for some folks. And then reverse it. Well, maybe it's not normal. It's normal for me. How about that? Woo! You can find our practices on Mind Body Online through the link on the Veterans Yoga Project. And let's reverse that. If you want longer practices, if you want to do some of these at home, chair yoga, gentle yoga for low back care. And there's also some practices on our Veterans Yoga Project YouTube channel. So check those out too, okay? And just kind of shake it out. So next is the final series of our 6 essential spinal movements. That's hard to say. So we'll be doing seated twists. So what I'd like to do is invite you to have the hands out. Kind of looks like jazz hands, right? But we're not doing jazz hands. And we're going to squeeze the elbows into the sides of our body. So we kind of feel the shoulders squeezing back behind there, yeah? And we're pressing firmly into the floor with the feet. So we got the quadriceps, the hamstrings, the calves, the bottoms of the feet, nice and active. I love it. Dynamic tension. Then let's invite the arms to come up towards shoulder level. Now, if that's not your thing today, a little bit more towards the ribs is okay, yeah? And we're contracting the belly button towards the spine. Whew, in just a moment. So let's breathe in, squeeze those shoulders. And as you exhale, let's twist to one side. Stay here, breathing in. Exhale, back to heart center. Now keep the squeeze going with the shoulders. Inhale, stay here. Exhale, let's twist over to the other side. Kind of wringing out all the toxins here. Woo! Inhaling, stay here. Exhale, back to heart center. Inhaling, stay here. Press firmly into the floor. Let's twist over to the other side. Inhaling, let's stay here. Exhale, back to heart center. Squeeze those shoulders. Inhaling, stay here. Exhale, over to the other side. We'll do one more set each side. Breathe in, stay here. Exhale, back to heart center. Wiggle those shoulders a little bit. Inhale, stay here. Squeeze those shoulders. Exhale, let's twist over to one side. Are you still pressing into the feet? Inhaling, stay here. Exhale, back to heart center. Last time, here we go. Breathe in first. Exhale, over to the other side. Inhaling, stay here. Exhale, back to heart center and release. Again, let's just kind of alternate shoulder rolls here and then kind of make it go the other way. So that's the end of our movement part, the mindful movement part of our class. We coordinated the breath with the movement. Didn't know if you noticed that, but that helps us to lessen our stress, lessen the cortisol in the body. So, you know, when you move with the breathing, breathe with the movement, it just kind of like gets you into that being very mindful, listening to the body, listening to the breath going in and out through the nose. So like I told you at the beginning of the class, I'm going to come up to the camera and do our guided rest and relaxation. So I invite you to kind of scooch back in your chair and get comfortable, yeah? So let me grab my chair over here to the side. It's just a little movement here. Beautiful. All right, and our guided rest and relaxation is about a 5-minute practice. And I invite you just to kind of get comfortable. You're leaning back. You can cross at the ankles. Hands can rest, you know, firmly in your lap, firmly, loosely. They don't have to rest firmly. I don't know what I'm talking about. All right, so I'm going to get my yoga script for us doing that guided rest and relaxation. So let's see here. So wherever you are, let's just get comfortable. You may kind of have to wiggle one shoulder, then the other, maybe extend a leg, shake it out a little bit. If you wanted to, you could actually get down on the ground, put your calves down on the seat of the chair and lie on your back. But a lot of folks, you know, they're in their street clothes. They don't want to do that. That's an alternative place that you can do this spinal relaxation. So placing your feet on the earth. We're just going to get a little bit more comfortable seated on our chair, yeah? Feel free to kind of lean back against that chair and begin to notice the feet touching the earth. So you're going to notice your legs. Notice the parts of the body connected to the chair. Notice your arms, your hands, your fingers. Notice your shoulders. Notice the head, the top of the head. And now let's bring awareness to the face, just relaxing the muscles of the face. You may be wanting to open the jaw a little bit just to kind of release tension from the jaw. And let the lips softly seal. Let the tongue relax in your mouth. Beautiful. All right, we're going to move on to the breathing. And we'll just start to bring attention to the breath. Just notice that you are breathing. And then we'll start to manipulate the breath a little bit. So we're going to allow the inhale to get a little bit longer as we breathe in through the nose. So breathing in. Let's do the same with the exhale. Exhale, make it a little bit longer. Again, breathing in and breathing out. You might notice your heart beating while we're breathing. So when you allow your breath to slow down, you might notice your heart rate slowing down. Yeah, I do that whenever I get my blood pressure taken at the doctor's office. I'll just like really extend that inhale and that exhale. Just because, sometimes when I go there, it's like elevated a little bit. And it's just my little trick there for lowering my blood pressure, yeah? So now let's move into working with opposites. So let's just allow your body to feel very heavy, sinking down into the earth, just kind of melting into that chair, yeah? The arms and legs are heavy. The bottom is heavy. Wherever the shoulders are touching the chair, you're just like sinking down into the earth. Beautiful. And then let's flip that to feeling very light. Allow your body to feel very light, as though you could float up from your seat, floating up towards the sky. Your arms are light, your legs are light, your body is light. Then let's move into witnessing our thoughts. So we're going through the different layers of our consciousness to be between awake and sleeping. It's called a hypnagogic state. And it's thought to release pain, to ease stress, allow you to sleep better. All right, so let's just start to become aware of our thoughts. Take a moment now just to observe any thoughts that are coming into the mind. Maybe you're observing them like at the movie, back at the eyelids, and there's this big screen, yeah? Just notice the thoughts or maybe the shapes that are running across the screen. Try not to engage with them, just notice, just watch. Breathing nice and slow. Watching whatever comes. Next, we're going to work with some of the emotions. And then just for a moment, let's just kind of check in with our emotions. Notice if there are any emotions present for you right now, and you could actually be emotionally neutral. And we're going to work with despair versus hope. So let's remember a time in your life when you felt hopelessness and despair. Be sure to remember that you're not experiencing these feelings at this time, just remembering them. Where do you feel this emotion in your body? Is there a feeling of constriction around your heart, in your abdomen? Just remember this feeling of despair. Now, let's remember the opposite. Experience the opposite, a feeling of hope. Allow your heart to open to and expand to the possibilities of good outcomes. A feeling of support and love from those around you. So imagine positive outcomes to your stressful situations and just bathe in this feeling of hope. And again, notice your breathing. Then let's move into our bliss body. Let's take a moment to recall a very happy time in your life, one of your happiest memories. Recall as many details as possible. Notice who's around you, what's around you, the colors, the shapes, the textures. Notice the sounds, the smells. There might even be a taste. Notice how you feel in this moment in time in your favorite memory. And then let's take a deep breath. And let's come back into the now, back into the present. So I invite you to kind of wiggle those toes, maybe move those feet a little bit, little shoulder shrugs, yeah? And if your eyes are closed, go ahead and kind of flutter the eyelids and open them. Beautiful. And let's kind of, bring a little bit of awareness back into our body now. We're going to do that gratitude practice next. So you can continue to have the hands resting on top of your thighs. What I like to do is place one hand on the heart and then the other hand, or you can do a more traditional yoga pose, which is the sides of the thumbs into the sternum and the fingertips pointing at the bottom of your chin. So again, I'm going to go back to one hand and then the other. I can feel my heart rate at that point. So let's bring an idea of gratitude. So we're famous for, being able to do this at Thanksgiving, yeah? But, maybe cultivating a moment in your day, each day, to maybe be thankful for someone, someplace, something, and bring that imagery into your heart space. Again, an attitude of gratitude, yeah? Beautiful. All right, so we're going to end our practice today. Thank you so much for, spending this moment in time with me today. Again, look at the various resources we have listed down in the video description in that study I mentioned earlier about how yoga helps veterans with back challenges, yeah? All right, so again, so the light in me honors and respects the light in you. So let's take the peace, the strength, and the understanding, and that little attitude of gratitude, and let's pass it on, all right? So you can say, peace be with you, namaste, and see you next time. All right, this is Gail. Thank you for joining us today for your short little practice. Bye, y'all.